Hey, welcome back to Occupy Democrats. And do we have some Black Friday breaking news for you that's just going to make whatever deals you got today even better. And if you'd like to see Donald Trump gone as much as I'd like to, subscribe to the channel. In this breaking story, just remember, Al Capone did not go to jail because he used to take care of people. He went to jail for tax evasion. Well, in Donald Trump's land, and especially his cabinet, and in this breaking story, his Department of War, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is about to be in really deep trouble. Because you remember, before I show you the story, you remember when he got all proud in front of the generals and said this:
"We fight not because we hate what's in front of us. We fight because we love what's behind us."
And then what set in motion where he is right now was this.
Everything surrounding the Secretary of Defense, a.k.a. the Secretary of Department of War, Pete Hegseth, started with this social media post. Earlier this morning, on President Trump's orders, I directed a lethal kinetic strike on a narco-trafficking vessel affiliated with designated terrorist organizations in the USS Southcom area of responsibility. 4 male narco-terrorists aboard the vessel were killed in the strike, and no U.S. forces were harmed in the operation. The strike was conducted in international waters just off the coast of Venezuela, while the vessel was transporting substantial amounts of narcotics headed to America to poison our people. Our intelligence, without a doubt, confirmed that this vessel was trafficking narcotics. The people on board were narco-terrorists, and they were operating on a known narco-trafficking transit route. These strikes will continue until the attacks on the American people are over.
Yeah, not such a great move there, Pete. Be sure and put the whiskey away the next time you're doing business on camera, because then all of this happened up to the number 7 here.
3 people were killed in what is now the 7th U.S. military strike on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean. The Secretary of Defense said the vessel was linked to a narco-trafficking group from Colombia. He warned such groups will be, quote, hunted and killed just like al-Qaeda.
So far in this conflict, Congress has not authorized striking cartels.
Well, this ragtag, rogue, kind of no due process, ICE, Donald Trump, tough guy, puff up your chest BS, in light of what just happened in D.C. yesterday with the National Guards folks, is going to come to a head, and it's liable to pop right on Pete Hegseth's little head while he's drinking some whiskey. Because in this breaking story, what Pete Hegseth might be facing right now is impeachment. Check out what just happened today here.
Breaking news. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, a.k.a. Secretary of the Department of War, according to Trump, accused of ordering a strike to kill every survivor, could trigger his impeachment. It has been reported by multiple news sources that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth gave a verbal order to kill everybody on a suspected drug smuggling boat in the Caribbean in September of 2025, which resulted in the deaths of 2 survivors in a second strike. This accusation has led to discussions of potential war crimes prosecution and possible impeachment proceedings. The details of the accusation are as follows. The incident on September 2, 2025, the U.S. military conducted a missile strike on a boat suspected of drug trafficking off the coast of Trinidad. The order, after the initial strike, military personnel watching drone footage realized 2 survivors were clinging to the wreckage. According to sources who spoke to the Washington Post, the Special Operations Commander overseeing the attack ordered a second strike at Hegseth's instruction, blowing the 2 men apart in the water. The alleged verbal order from Hegseth was to kill everybody. Legal implications are as follows. Legal analysts and former military lawyers have broadly described the order as illegal under both U.S. and international law. Experts note that the order to strike defenseless survivors could amount to a war crime, as it would be an order to show no quarter. Critics argue that using the military as judge and executioner without due process violates the Constitution. Pentagon response: Sean Parnell, the chief Pentagon spokesperson, declined to address questions about Hegseth's specific order, stating that, in quotes, entire narrative is completely false. Impeachment calls. The accusations, along with other controversies such as the administration's attacks on Democratic lawmakers who warned military leaders about illegal orders, have led some political opponents to call for impeachment proceedings against the president and his cabinet members, which includes Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth.
You see, this is what happens when you continue to try and say America first, but what you really do in business, which Donald Trump is doing, is make everybody else second, and you enriching yourself first by using foreign adversaries as your business partners, the Saudis, Russia, whatever it may be, all the stories that are out there. But when you try to continue to push and utilize the greatest military force on the planet for little petty things like this, against the Constitution and due process, what you wind up doing is winding up in a really small cell, Pete. And guess what? You're not going to have any home videos to watch of yourself drinking on Fox and Friends then. You guys, like and share the video. Stay frosty.